Hi, welcome to Mortar Rock's Quick Cuts. The year is 1981, and hit after hit is being released in horror cinema. In 1981 alone, we get The Evil Dead, we get Funhouse, we get The Prowler, Dark Night of the Scarecrow, sequels to both Halloween and Friday the 13th, My Bloody Valentine, among many others. It is little wonder, with so much to contend with, that the film Madman is often overlooked. Originally supposed to be based on the Cropsey myth up in New York, the writers found out another slasher, The Burning, produced the same year, was already using that source material. Thus a rewrite was required, and we end up with a classic in its own right. Now, it was directed by Joe Giannone and filmed at Fish Cove Inn up in Southampton, New York. The movie shots took place over the winter, and this is what's wild. The crew actually had to go around painting leaves to give off that summer camp feel. Unfortunately, that location had fell into disrepair by the early 90s due to contamination from a local landfill. Not cool at all. You get a fairly good cast here, with Galen Ross as Betsy, who serves as a great final girl. You'll certainly recognize her as her role from Francine in Dawn of the Dead just a few years prior. I really enjoyed Tony Nunziata, who played TP. What's wild was his commitment to the role. He actually would choke himself by tying a rubber band around his neck in order to prepare to do the hanging scene featured in the film. That is definitely building up for that role. Now, the role of Mars was played by Paul Eilers. I love the character, which could have very well inspired future ones such as Victor Crowley later on. Supposedly during film one day, Eilers' son was born, and he had to book it to the hospital real quick, so quick that he was still wearing his costume. It must have been quite the sight. But most importantly, folks, we get some really good kills in this flick. We get a decapitation via truck hood, a hanging, and someone being impaled on a wall hook. Now, additionally, there's some really good scenes, such as when Madman Mars is up in the trees, looming during the nighttime. I love that shot. The ending was also a real delight and provided room for a sequel that just unfortunately did not come. So, Schlock Flock, what were your thoughts on this slasher from 1981? Go ahead, put it in the comments, and remember, as always, keep it schlocky.